Hi guys, it's Pat, and I'm here with my submission for Leonie Castro's Swivel Charm Clasp Swap for Life on the Scrap Beach. And the theme for the month of September was either Attic Treasures or Junk Drawer. And I chose to do the Junk Drawer. I would have loved to have done both of them, and a few people did, but I didn't have the time, so I chose the Junk Drawer thinking it would be more challenging. Because I've seen some attic treasure charms before, but I hadn't seen any junk drawer charms. In fact, when Leonie had asked for suggestions, and I actually gave her both of them, but I made up junk drawer. I'd never seen it before. But it's inspired by the junk books that everybody's doing, the smash books, that ability to take things from everyday life that actually are going to have meaning for you or bring back memories, but they're everyday objects and you turn them into art. So that's kind of what I felt like the junk drawer would do. And I was kind of inspired by, I did a junk drawer mini, probably, I don't know, August and September maybe I worked on it. And I've done a bunch of things that I haven't videotaped because so much was going on and I got so busy, and I ended up only doing videotapes of things that I was swapping, as I am doing right now, because they were going to go out the door. So, in order to record them, I had to do the video then. So anyway, so this is my submission for the September swap, Leonie's swap. And in fact, Leonie's on vacation and I am substituting for her this month, so I received everybody's charms. And I would say my advice to anybody who ever does this is to complete your charm before you start getting all the beautiful charms that come in, because you will get intimidated and it's hard to hang on to what your original vision was. So in my starting point or my stepping off point or whatever for this particular charm was this rock charm. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I picked up like a string of these all months ago, not knowing what I was ever going to do with them, but just liking them. You know how you do with beads and things, and then realized when I was doing attic treasures that this needed to be my jumping off point, because I've always had rocks in my junk drawer because I would find fossils, my kids would find fossils, or something that looked like a crystal, and they would just get dropped in the junk drawer until, or if we ever found a place for them, because in my junk drawer I had things that I would use every day, but I also had the homeless items, things that I was keeping but I didn't know where to keep, and hadn't found a place for them, maybe never would find a place for them. So anyway, I've always had a real healthy junk drawer. And so that was the beginning of this. But what happened was I started looking at this, and it's so pretty and shiny. And then I'm going to turn this over. I have this little key, and I also have this kind of champagne colored dye. And that's how what started off as something that was going to be very colorful, because I felt like a junk drawer would have a lot of color. It started to morph into something more neutral. And before I knew it, it had turned into the French version of the junk drawer. And I envisioned an apartment in Paris, maybe in 1963. Some young ladies who are sharing an apartment, and a young lady who shares a bedroom and has a little vanity and maybe a little junk drawer, or even it's only a box in a junk drawer, and what would she be keeping? So, because this just reminded me of marble and glass and wrought iron, and it kind of went from there. So, so what's on here is this tag which says Daily Junk, and then I have the Martha Stewart Monarch Butterfly, which I use on a lot of my projects because I love this. It's just one of my favorite punches. But what I did, I covered it with glossy accents, which makes it like plastic. And it will stand up if you're going to put it on a charm or something where, it's going to get handled a little bit. And then, of course, I have lots of baubles, which reminded me kind of the chandeliers that they would have in a French apartment. And, sometimes those little things come off, and I could see her slipping them into the little drawer, in the hopes of maybe putting it back on later. And then a domino, a little game piece. I always had game pieces in my junk drawer, you put them in there hoping that you're going to find the rest of the game, or that you'll get the game put back together or whatever. At least I did. So anyway, I don't know exactly why my young lady in Paris is keeping these little game pieces, but they're in her junk drawer anyway. And then, of course, a comb. I think there's a pair of scissors here somewhere. Some coins. I know I saw the scissors before. So, and some things, maybe some broken jewelry, like this very pretty piece of jewelry with the tassel on the end of it. I think, where are those scissors? Because I know they're here. Oh, there they are. I see them. Okay, I hope I have this in frame and that you can see it too. So there are the scissors, the coins, and then I have a little word stick, just because I think maybe the kind of thing that she would be possibly keeping. So then for the tag, I used some old Cosmo Cricut paper, and I actually went through all my paper and holding them up against the charm so that I could find what was going to go perfect with these neutral colors, and I used that paper, plus I used the transparency, which also gives me that feeling of, you can see, because, it's shiny and looks like the window in the apartment, maybe with the sun shining through, or just, that glossy, the wrought iron, the glass, the marble, my romanticized version of a French apartment. So this is my junk drawer in the French Paris apartment bedroom. It's a vanity junk drawer. And that's the beauty of art. It's anything that you want to imagine. And I have a number here. I would always have had probably like an odd house number or something in my junk drawer, some kind of crazy thing like that. And I put that here because it just reminded me of like an apartment number. Maybe it fell off the door or something. And then there's a little bead with the rhinestones. So that's my junk drawer charm, and kind of how I imagined it. And on the back, I just made a little pocket and put in my card, and then just another little ticket that it's got my stamp, and then on this side it says, art is a shadow of what a person is thinking. Little stamp. So that just goes right back in there like that. So that was my charm that I created, but I felt kind of bad because I went off and I didn't use the greens and the blues and some posting as a substitute for Leone. A lot of the charms were coming in the greens and the blues. I mean, they were just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And originally I thought, well, the green and the blue and the brown lends itself more to attic treasures, and, I had gone off on my artistic, journey on this, and ended up with this charm, which I love, but I thought, I need to try to conform more to what the colors are. So I made another charm, and I only had one of these rocks left to make one charm. And that's this. Here I am smashing the butterfly that I attached there. Put it on the stand. And this is the stand that I use when I'm actually making my charms, because I like to see how the charm is going to hang. So, you know what, I think I didn't attach this permanently because I was still thinking about where I wanted it. But this is the tag, and it's got, it's a cylinder of the negatives, and Daily Junk, which I took off of the album that I was working on, and a bottle cap with that's a map with water and everything. So I was trying to go for the green and the blue, and then I added in the yellow because I made a junk drawer mini, and not junk drawer, but a Daily Junk mini with the pink paisley paper, and I kind of wanted to follow that. So I made 3 of these cylinders of measuring tape. I always had measuring tape in my junk drawer. So I made 3 of them, and one of them is on the rock, and that's where I put the butterfly for this particular application. And then I also used some the ball chain, the Tim Holtz ball chain, and this bolt is actually part of the industrial sheet collection. But you could do this yourself, and in fact I saw somebody submitted something similar to this that I think that they did, and it was a washer, and then they used print. I don't know if you can hear my dog in the background. He wants out. So and then just some pretty shiny stones. Another ball chain with a little clipboard with it. I think I'm going to stamp something on that. And then also I used a chain. Somewhere in here is a chain with a coin on it. So I could only do one of these because that's all that I had, and I'm not going to make it part of the swap, but I wanted to show you that you can go anywhere you want to go with any of the themes, the flea market theme. There isn't a right or wrong. It's basically just what you see, and you can see many things and go in many different directions, and so everybody has their own process. For me, I visualize kind of, the place, and some people do that, some people do just a whole variety of things, and it doesn't matter because it's yours, it's your art, it's your vision, and if you do Attic Treasures, it's what Attic Treasures is to you, and if you do Junk Drawer, it's whatever Junk Drawer means to you. So, that was my purpose for sharing this, that I continued on. And this is the second time I'm doing this video because I ran over a little bit, so I'm not sure if I showed you my Junk Drawer mini. You may see it again, and I'm going to do a video about it later, but right now I'm trying to just get some things done because they're swaps and they need to go out the door, and I wanted to finish this up before I'm going to do a video of all the charms that I received for Leonie's swaps. So anyway, that's it for right now, and thanks so much for watching.